We're back. It's another video about Alec Baldwin and Rust. The Sheriff's Department released a 550-page report. I wish we had more info on what was actually in that, but I don't have the wherewithal to read 550 pages. I've got an article. We're going to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Let's go. Sheriff's Office releases Rust shooting report, including texts from Alec Baldwin. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office has released its report into the fatal shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin's film Rust, which reveals text messages the actor sent in the days and weeks after the incident. The 550-page report shows a year-long investigation into the shooting on the New Mexico set of the Western. The film's cinematographer, 42-year-old Halyna Hutchins, was killed by Baldwin, who was pointing a Colt 45 revolver at her when it fired. Director Joel Souza was also injured. Okay, he pointed it at her, and I love how the article says when it fired. He didn't just point the gun at her and it happened to fire. He pointed the gun at her, pulled the trigger, then it fired. Let's be clear. This is a revolver. It's you pull and it goes bang, much like a semi-automatic pistol when there's a round racked in the chamber. So this gun did not just go off, did not just fire itself. Nobody was standing there behind Alec Baldwin moving his arm to point it at Hutchins and pull the trigger. Alec Baldwin, as an adult, I say competent, but I mean, let's be honest, it's Alec Baldwin. But for all intents and purposes and sake of this video, a competent adult who this is not his first time working in a production with firearms, obviously. So for him to say that there is no responsibility on his part is hilarious. But let's move on with the article. Among the findings are text messages from Baldwin's phone, which was turned over to investigators in January after a search warrant for the device was issued. The search warrant was not issued in January. I believe it was issued before that, but he did not turn it over until January, which begs the question, how many of us would have got away with that if we were in Baldwin's position and they're like, we got a search warrant for your phone, you need to turn it over. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to turn it over. And they're like, oh, okay, sure. And next thing you know, they're coming and they're seizing it. So me, wouldn't have worked out that way. Alec Baldwin, multi-millionaire, Hollywood elite. Yeah, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. 2 days after the shooting, Baldwin started messaging Matt Hutchins. Now, this seems a little bit weird considering this is 2 days after the shooting. 2 days after I killed your wife, I'm just going to start messaging you. Okay, pal?
How about no?
The husband of Halyna Hutchins sending sporadic texts over the next few weeks, according to the report. On December 2nd, Baldwin messaged that both he and Halyna Hutchins believed the gun was empty, according to the report. On December 10th, Baldwin messaged him about a potential sabotage angle, the report stated. So he messaged, like, that seems like an odd thing to say. Like, didn't Alec Baldwin's attorney, because he was lawyered up already, didn't his attorneys tell him, hey, probably don't talk to him, okay? Just let's not talk to Matt Hutchins. And Alec Baldwin's like, but I'm Alec Baldwin. Blah, blah, blah. And this sabotage angle, so we'll go into that now. Important for you to keep in mind, the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office may lack both the skill and will to properly investigate the sabotage angle. Baldwin messaged him, according to the report. I'm told their agenda is to write it off as an accident and throw it into the civil courts. And yet, the more that is presented to me about certain anomalies on that day, the more open-minded I become. I dismissed the sabotage claim initially, but not now. I hope these New Mexico, this is an allusion to the investigators, have the sense to follow it through. I hope these New Mexico have the sense to follow through. That doesn't make any sense. It's terrible wording. No editor on this. It was probably written by an algorithm, but you get the point. Baldwin is trying to put doubt in Hutchins' head that he has any culpability in this, that he has any responsibility, accountability in this, the death of Matthew Hutchins' wife. When Hutchins asked Who told him about this agenda? Baldwin advised that multiple attorneys have told him, according to the report. Baldwin started a text chain with the investigator in the case on November 8, 2021, asking if the film's armorer or assistant director ever instructed anyone to self-inspect the weapons, saying he was never instructed to perform self-checks, according to the report. 2 days later, he asked if there was a possibility he would be charged. So he calls at first, or he's messaging them at first, and he's asking the investigator, the film's armor or assistant director ever instructed anyone to perform self-inspections on the weapons. You're an adult, dude. It's not hard. It's a Colt 45 revolver. You open the cylinder, you look at the ammo. Okay, there's ammo in here. Pull it out. What kind of ammo is this? Is this, what are we doing here? There's questions that need to be asked, and apparently Alec Baldwin was just like, all right, whatever. Boom. Oh, no. It's very Dick Cheney-esque here. Baldwin has previously said he doesn't believe he'll face any criminal charges in the accident, because of course he would feel that way. He's been brought up to believe he's better than everybody else because he's a Hollywood actor. So do you remember him fighting a guy over a parking spot?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I've been told by people who are in the know in terms of even inside the state that it's highly unlikely I would be charged with anything criminally, he told George Stephanopoulos in an interview late last year. 2 days after the shooting, Baldwin also messaged his assistant and advised, I have to delete my archive. Because that's not suspect or anything, is it, Alec? According to the report, there's no further details on the meaning of this message. Well, yeah, they're not going to expand upon that. It's very ambiguous. But I have a feeling they say later it's his Twitter archive. But I'm like, is it really your Twitter archive, Alec? Baldwin was referring to his Twitter archive, which he has considered deleting for a long time, according to his attorney, Luke Nikas of Quinn Emanuel. Yeah, he has to have his attorney say that. Well, he was considering deleting his Twitter archive for a long time. Yeah, he fully was considering that. Baldwin fully cooperated with the investigation and turned over his phone with all records, including all records from the day of the incident, to the Suffolk County Police, Nikas said in a statement to ABC News. After reviewing the records, police then turned them over directly to Santa Fe Sheriff, unless the records reflect privileged communications or were irrelevant to the Rust movie, Nikas said. He fully preserved all records related to Rust and turned them over to the authorities nearly a year ago. The report's release comes 3 weeks after the sheriff's office turned it over to the local district attorney, who will decide whether to press criminal charges against anyone involved in the shooting. The district attorney's office said at the time it will conduct a thorough review of the information and evidence to make a thoughtful, timely decision about whether to bring charges. Charges have yet to be announced in this case. In the weeks and months following the October 2021 shooting, questions have persisted as to how live ammunition made it onto the New Mexico set into the prop gun and whether proper safety precautions were taken by crew members. We've heard stories about Hannah Gutierrez-Reed and others in the cast using the weapons for target practice after the shoot was done for the day. They were doing this like around the set area. So there was live ammo on the set, and that is rather concerning. Because when something like this happens, you have to look at the people involved in it. And the people involved in this don't seem like they're of the best quality, I would say. Especially the armor, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who one would wonder how she even got that job. Several lawsuits have been filed in connection with the incident, most recently by Baldwin. Yeah, he's suing now. In a lawsuit filed last week, the actor, which I talked about the cross complaint he filed in the previous video, the actor alleged negligence of several of the film's crew members while seeking to clear his name. Baldwin's cross complaint followed a lawsuit filed last year by the film's script supervisor, Mamie Mitchell. The civil suit accused Baldwin of playing Russian roulette with the revolver, which would not surprise me. Last month, the family of Hutchins reached a settlement in its wrongful death lawsuit against the producers of the film, including Baldwin. In a statement about the agreement, it was announced by Hutchins' husband he'll take over as executive producer, and the film will restart production next year, with Baldwin and Sousa still attached. So to kind of put a bow on this thing, I don't think Alec Baldwin will end up facing any criminal charges. I really, really have a gut feeling that he's going to walk away with this. Maybe some financial restitution, but I mean, they already reached a settlement with Hutchins, so it's whether the state wants to press charges on this and bring the case forward. And then you have all these other variables: the armor, the assistant director, the ammo supplier. There's all these other moving parts in this, And we're not getting all the information. All we're getting is a sliver of what's going on. And the fact that they've secured funds for the trial, or at least requisitioned the funds for the trial from the state, and it leads you, it's like, okay, they're going to go forward. Are they not going to go forward? And how much responsibility do we actually think Alec Baldwin will take? I mean, him saying that he's heard of a sabotage angle. Well, from who? Well, multiple attorneys have told me. Oh, okay, Alec. All right, bud. Yeah, you're the one sabotaged. Okay. Because you're the victim. You're the victim here. Alec Baldwin is the victim. Of course he is. Of course he is. But now it's your turn. I mean, I think this guy should pay for what he did. It's not murder. It's more, I would call it, negligent homicide, manslaughter. He'll probably get, second degree. If he got anything criminally, I'd say it would be like second degree manslaughter, but I don't think he'll ever see the inside of a prison. No, if that's what you're asking me, no, I don't. That's not going to happen here. Now, the armor, somebody like that who is to Hollywood and by their barometer pretty much a ancillary character in real life, they'll throw her under the bus with the quickness. But Alec Baldwin, no, he's not gonna take any real heat for this, other than from people like me, commentators who are speaking on it. But now it's your turn. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Baldwin is guilty? Do you think he should face some financial penalties for this? Do you think he should do time? Like I said, I am leaning along he should probably do time for it, but he never will. So that's just a pipe dream. He's an actor. He's one of the Hollywood ruling class. So I don't know. I don't think he's gonna take nearly as much of the blame for this as he should. Like I said, we've seen it from the start. He's trying to pass the buck everywhere else and then pull in a conspiracy theory about a sabotage angle because everybody's out to get Alec Baldwin. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,300, and I would really appreciate it if you did. Ding the bell for notifications. And you can also become a channel member. $2.99 to become a Kazooian, $4.99 to become a Harvey Wakuian producer. And if not, just enjoy the nearly 1,200 videos in the back catalog. Videos, live streams, reviews, shorts, they're all there. I'm Matthew Wakuian of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.